Welcome to class. The focus of our class today is going to be on the nervous system. And so we have two divisions of our autonomic nervous system that helps to regulate heart, blood pressure, digestion, etc. And those are the sympathetic, which is the fight or flight, and then the other division is the parasympathetic. And they work in coordination with each other in order to keep us in a state of preparedness and ready for anything kind of thing. And oftentimes, when we exercise and during our everyday life, we are oftentimes in the sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight. And this can be bad for a variety of reasons, but one is it causes the release of stress hormones like cortisol. And cortisol is bad for your heart, your blood vessels, your blood pressure, and it also causes you to put on visceral fat. And so when we are doing our yoga practice, we are practicing staying in a state of relaxation. No matter how difficult the pose is, we are breathing nice and deep and nice and slowly, and we're moving through the poses in a very controlled and calm fashion. And so I would like you to think about how during your everyday life or your other exercise modalities that you do, how you approach it. Do you feel stress when you exercise? Are you constantly having freak out moments during your day where you lose something or you misplace something and you're like, and you just go from one freak out moment to the next? And how are ways, or what are ways that you could do to level out that, so that we are not constantly in a state of fight or flight? So, welcome to class. If you are coming with me, you can go ahead and start your Spotify playlist. We are going to start seated. Coming into easy pose, cross-legged. The other option here would be half lotus, where you bring one foot into the hip crease. And finding a way to arrive in your practice in this moment. Breathing in and out through the nose. And notice where you are right now. What does the nervous system feel like? Remembering that our nervous system is not just the brain and the spinal cord, but it's throughout our whole body, especially in the gut and the heart. Now, if you like, you can begin what is referred to as Ujjayi breath or ocean breath, where you breathe in through the nose, and then on the exhale, breathing out through the nose, you gently constrict the back of your throat. So this will create a little sound. But notice how the vocal cords feel, and if they feel like they're starting to get sore, then you want to reduce the amount of constriction in the back of the throat. So it might sound something like this. Slowing down that exhalation will help to calm your nervous system. And we're going to open our eyes if they're closed, and let's take the arms up, Hands could touch, and then exhale down. Inhale up. One more time, deep inhalation. Bringing the hands out, palms down. Now energize those arms so that when we come over, turning the palm to face the ground, you feel a really deep stretch on that side of the body. And you feel like if somebody came by and tried to move your arm, they would not be able to because you are solid. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, fall back through center. You can get soft here. Planting the hand, energizing that arm, palm to the earth. Reach over, rooting your hip back down. Take a deep breath in. Bring it back through center. And we're going to do a twist. So one arm to the opposite knee, and then extend the spine long as you rotate and look over your shoulder. Look with your eyes. Take a breath in. Other side. Bring it back to center. We're going to find our way over and onto all fours. We're going to plant our hands right underneath the shoulders. We're going to perhaps curl our toes, and then lifting one leg and beginning to move that leg. Engaging the core, pressing the mat away. Nice and slow and controlled. You decide your range of motion. You could try bringing the knee to the nose and extending long. See how that feels to your body. And then when you're ready, we're going to take this leg forward between the hands. And I want you to walk that front foot out and lean forward. We're just going to do a nice stretch here, feeling into your back hip. And then let's take that leg to the back, deciding whether you want to keep your toes curled, plant your hands, shifting body weight, other side. Could be small range of motion. Could feel into your feet, your ankles. Could bring your knee into your nose. Warming up our bodies. And when you're ready, let's bring that foot between your hands, coming upright and leaning forward. So it is okay here to have your knee, your front knee over your ankle. And then when you're ready, finding your way back, knees back underneath. We're going to bring our hands out in front. And I want you to see if you can maybe bring your forehead down to the floor and sink your heart down to the earth. Tailbone up into the sky. Notice how your shoulders feel. And then when you're ready, let's walk our hands back. We're going to come up and then sit back onto the heels, remembering that you could always come up into a kneeling position, opening the heart. Hands could come back. You could straighten your arms and squeeze your shoulder blades, keeping a tuck in your tail. You could look up towards the sky. Okay, let's release those arms. We're going to bring the hands, fingertips to the shoulders, and then just bring the elbows together and open up the back of the body. You can bring your chin into your chest and open up the front. Let's do this a couple more times, opening up the back body, opening up the front body. Last one. Back body and front body. Okay, walking your hands back out. You're going to get ready for our first downward dog, curling the toes, lifting the knees up, tailbone to the back. Now check out your feet. Are they hip width apart? Are they parallel? Are your arms straight? Can you get your ears next to your arms? If you need to, you can always bend your knees. And then just slowly begin to straighten the legs when you're ready, or if you're ready for that. Now let's walk the dog. So one knee can bend deeply and then the other knee. You could shift. You could even bring the knee that is bending in across towards the center line. And then if you'd like, you can watch your feet. Be amazed. And then when you're ready, coming back, feet parallel, bending the knees, walking the hands back towards your feet, letting yourself be upside down. Check in with your low back. If you need to, bending your knees will help to release some of that tension you might feel in your low back. And then when you're ready, we're going to come up either with a straight back or rolling up. You decide. Okay. If you have a block or a book even, we're going to use it and we're going to place it between the thighs. So what this does is it creates a little bit of tension as we press our thighs into the block. So this is our pose of the day. It's going to be chair pose. It's Utkatasana. So you'll notice that when I bend, I'm taking my butt towards the back and my knees are staying behind my front toes. Hands could be here. I could come down a little bit deeper. I might even be able to lift my toes. I might take my arms out. Utkatasana, chair pose, is the pose of the day. And this is one of those poses that is challenging. So see if even when you have a little bit of stress on your body, can you breathe? Can you stay calm? Stay in your rest, relaxation mode of the nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system. Breathe. If you need to, you can come up. Otherwise, just holding it here, feeling into your strength, your resilience. Breathing in and out through the nose, nice and slow. Shaking might happen, that's okay. And then when you're ready, one more deep breath in. And then notice that moment you get to stand up and let yourself become soft. You could close your eyes and feel deeply. Relaxing your jaw, your eyes. And then when you're ready, you can remove that block between your thighs and you can place it. Let's keep it on the right side of the mat. If you have a block, we might use that today. And then even relaxing the thighs a little bit, bending the knees. We're going to step forward to the front of the mat. We're going to take a deep breath in and exhale down. A couple more times, breath in. Now, if you like to energize a little bit, bending your knees and then taking it up. Breath in, bending the knees up. One more time. Okay, let's take the right leg straight back. We're going to come up into our high lunge. You could always hold it here. The hands on the hips. Now we're going to see if we can bend that back knee a little bit. Maybe it could almost touch the floor and then straightening the legs, both legs. So maybe you can find a little dip in your body coming down and then coming up. This is strength building. Should not be painful. Notice that I'm up on the ball of my back foot. One more time. When you're ready, coming back to your neutral position, we're going to step that back foot in just a little bit. We're going to line the front heel up with the back heel. We're going to lengthen the spine. We're going to come over. That front leg is long, but you want to make sure that you keep a little micro bend in that front knee if you need to. You can hold it here, horizontal to the floor, or you could use a block. Bring your hands down and let your head relax to the floor. Maybe your hands could come to the floor. This is pyramid pose. It's important to release the tension in your neck. Head, the top of the head to the floor will allow you to create space between the vertebrae, just allowing yourself to relax into gravity. Now we can bend that front leg, walk the hands out. If you have blocks or books, you could use them here or not, placing your fingertips on the floor. That back leg is going to lift as high as it can lift, and we're going to point the toe. Standing straddle splits. Breathe. When you're ready, that foot that's up in the air can come meet the one that's already on the mat. Bending your knees, forward fold, coming up with the straight back, hinging at the hips or rolling up, you decide. And then we're going to do the other side. So stepping, shifting your body weight, stepping left leg back. Feet are parallel. I'm up on the ball of my foot. This is high lunge. Arms can stay on hips or hands can stay on hips. And you could extend that front leg and then bend the back knee. Just up and down, breathing. Building strength, stability in the joints. One more time. That back foot can step forward a little bit, lining up the front heel with the back heel. My foot is turned out a little bit in the back, and then forward fold. You can stay here with your body horizontal to the floor, parallel, or you could bring your hands down. You could also use a block. You could grab onto your thigh, your shin, your ankle, or the floor, letting your head relax down. Let's bend that front leg. You can step the hands forward, lifting the back leg as high as you can. Point your toe. Breathe. And then when you're ready, bring that foot to meet the one that's already on the mat. Bending the knees, rolling up or coming up with your straight back. And feel into the strength of our base of our body. Okay, we're going to find our way down and onto the floor. Let's bring our soles of our feet together into what is referred to as Baddha Konasana. So you'll notice from the side that my body is upright. So maybe you might need to grab hold onto your ankles or your shins. Your feet can be out a little bit further. We want to have a straight back. That's more important. We don't want to be hunched over like this. We want to have a straight back. You could lean back and actually lean into those outreached arms. This is not our pose of the day, but it is called Baddha Konasana or cobbler's pose. Now from here, we're going to bring those feet out in front. And here, we're going to hinge at the hips, lengthening your back body. Hands could come out in front. Chin could come to your chest. And this might be where you're going to stay today. Maybe you could walk your hands out a little bit further. And we're going to release into this pose. So this is a passive release. Using our breath on the exhale, seeing if you can go to those places where you feel tightness. Explore that tightness and see if you can consciously relax around some of that tightness. Okay, we're going to find our way up, nice straight back. We're going to bring our hands to the back like this. Our feet come down, hip width apart. And notice if you can get your fingers to face towards your bottom. If not, you could turn your hands out. Sometimes people do it this way, but it's actually in yoga, we like to have our fingers turned in. Feels like there's more stability in the shoulders this way. And you can hold it here, squeezing your shoulder blades, looking up. Or you could lift your hips up and come into reverse table. Breathe, squeeze your back body. Stay calm. If it does not feel good to your shoulders, you can always come back down and simply squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then when you're ready, we're going to come back down. We're going to grab onto the backs of our thighs, round our spine, and come down nice and slow. Let's walk our feet out so that we can feel the edges of the mat with our feet. And we're going to take the knees side to side. You could bring your arms out, palms down. And just windshield wiper those legs side to side. You can turn your head. Noticing how your neck feels. And then when you're ready, bringing it back to center. Bridge pose. We walk our feet in. They're parallel, hip width apart. You could always put that block, if you like. You have a block between your thighs to keep your legs parallel. If not, you could imagine you have a block between your thighs. And then rolling up, lifting the heart. Squeeze your back body. Breathe. Keep your jaw relaxed. Keep your breath flowing. Check in with your nervous system. And then when you're ready, we're going to squeeze a little bit more, lift a little bit higher, deep breath in. And then starting with the top of the spine, roll down nice and slow. Happy baby or dying beetle, you could bring your feet into the air and then see if you can deeply bend at the knee. So the knees are to the sides. You can grab onto your shin or your ankles or the outside of your feet. And what you want to do is you want to use the strength of your arms to pull your knees down. So deep hip flexion here. And then if it feels okay, you could rock side to side. This can be an easy pose. Half happy baby. Keeping one leg bent, you could bring the other one down. You might even be able to straighten. This is a little intense, so bear with me. If it doesn't feel good to your body, you can always keep that knee bent. But if you begin to straighten it, you feel hip flexion one side, and then you feel an opening in the front of the hip on the other side. One-legged happy baby. Take a deep breath in. You could bring that leg back in. Let's try the other side. You could let that foot down, extending the leg. You could flex the foot. Other foot, bottom of the foot to the sky. Okay, taking a deep breath in. Let's release that leg. We're going to bring both knees into the chest, grab the backs of your thighs, and roll a couple times like a ball up and down the spine. And then coming over, crossing your legs, coming over, hands underneath. We're going to crawl back, and we're going to come into our child's pose, maybe knees wide, maybe forehead to the floor. Taking a couple of deep breaths here. Okay, finding your way back onto all fours. We're going to curl our toes and we're going to come into our downward dog. Feet are hip width apart. And we're going to feel into our arms as we come forward and into plank pose. Plank pose is a really powerful pose. We want to get as flat as we possibly can, tucking your tail, and then press the mat away. Arch up your upper back. So option, dropping the knees. This is a perfectly fine way to begin to build your plank, your full plank kneeling, and then bring it back up. This is one option. If this does not feel good to your wrists, you could also do forearm plank, which we're not going to do today together, but it is an option for this plank position. So we're going to breathe. We're going to feel our nervous system shaking might happen. And we're just going to ride that wave nice and calm. And then when you're ready, dropping your knees, lowering your elbows back behind your body, and we're going to come into Sphinx pose, elbows underneath the shoulders. You could take your feet wide. This sometimes feels good to just feel into the low back. Taking some deep breaths here. Lengthening your neck. Sphinx pose. Let's bring our hands back underneath our shoulders. We're going to bend at the knees, curl our toes under, and then come onto the balls of your feet. So right here. You can stay here if you like, or you could take your feet wider and come into your squat pose. You could always use a block. You could sit on a block, which oftentimes feels really good in terms of allowing you to come upright. So if you're up on the balls of your feet, that's perfectly normal. Means that probably your ankle joints are a little tight. So how about shifting your body weight from one side to the other? Maybe you're up here, shifting. Maybe your squat's like this. That's perfectly acceptable. Shifting side to side. Maybe looking over your shoulder. Maybe you could do this without the hands. Maybe lifting the arm up. And then when you're ready, coming back to center, we're going to press to rise. Oh, and walk our feet back underneath. Tree pose. Shifting your body weight, engaging your low belly, standing up nice and straight. We're going to externally rotate one leg. It can come here. It could come above the knee. Hands could stay in front of the heart. And breathe. Option to spread the branches, relaxing the shoulder down. Find your drishti point, a gaze point to look at that is not moving. And then releasing the hands down. Let's shift over to the other side. Planting your foot, externally rotating. Foot here. Up. Breathing. Gaze. And then arms up into the sky. Relaxing shoulders down. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring it back. Planting your feet. Let's twist the spine nice and gentle. Just looking behind you. You could let your hands come out and then touch the body as you twist in one direction and then the other. We're going to do one more balance pose before final relaxation. And this is a balance pose, which is Warrior 3. So we're going to step 1 foot forward, find our balance. Hands could come to the hips. Lift the other foot behind us. Gaze is down, hinging at the hip. Flex that back foot, the one that is up in the sky. Breathe here. And when you're ready, finding your way back and out of the pose. Shifting to the other side. Find your balance. Maybe lifting the leg a little bit. Hinging at the hip. Finding your way horizontal. See if you can keep your hips somewhat parallel as you do this. Breathe. And then when you're ready, finding your way out. And if there's anything that you want to do, any moves that you want to do before final relaxation, now is the time. Checking in with your body. Maybe checking in to see if you need a drink of water or a blanket. It's preferable not to use a pillow. We're going to lay ourselves down on the floor. And let your bodies relax. Arms out away from the body, palms up. Feet can fall out to the sides. You could lift your shoulders up, place them back down. Lift your head up, place it back down, wiggle into your pelvis, and then find your center. Notice your heart rate. See if it's been elevated. Using your breath and nice deep breathing, bringing it back down, back to center. Back into the state of calm relaxation. Doing a body scan and noticing if you're holding tension in any particular part of your body. Going there and exploring what it would feel like to get soft. Maybe it's hips, maybe it's shoulders, maybe it's neck, face. Staying here, being present to the moment, taking this opportunity to feel into your physical body, your nervous system, your mental body, your emotions, and then also your spirit. state of ease and flow, being present, moving through life, grounded and rooted, yet able to sway, able to change your mind, change direction. Able to stay calm in the face of adversity, challenges, storms. Feeling free to stay here for as long as you like.